Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of XA Talk Show. Let's go to Google. Let's see. So let's get prepared. Pop this out. Today we're going to talk about IPA, that is International Phonetic Alphabet, and emacs. Today is March 28th, and here is California, sunny California, 5 o'clock p.m. So I'm going to show you Unicode IPA, which is International Phonetic Alphabet, and maybe give you an introduction to Unicode. I've done that before, but I'm not sure it's very good, but I'm going to talk about that maybe. Introduction to Unicode for programmers. Then I'm going to talk about Emacs keyboard macro, and I'm gonna show a demo of Emacs keyboard macro. Hey Isaac, what's up? Where you from? What's your location? So let's start. Let's start by let's see. Okay, let me fix the date. Uh, Fix the title. So IPA Unicode IPA and Unicode Emacs key macro and stuff. Okay, so hey Nicholas, greetings from Hong Kong, Shangang. Very good. Uh, Hong Kong, great. So we're gonna do. Okay, yeah. Let me get started. So let me put the right title here. Okay. So what should I do first? Let's do the IPA first. Let's do actually. Isaac is from California. Cool, sunny California, the best place on earth. I still consider U.S. kind of like the best country to live. Uh, that is not a researched uh, uh, statement. Yeah, but I think that is pretty much still true. Um, but of course, if you live elsewhere, you may not think so. I haven't been uh, around to many places. So anyway, let's get back to Unicode. Unicode. Yes, Unicode. Let's go to. Actually, before we do Unicode, let's do some Emacs demo because usually people come in later. So let's do Emacs. Okay, let's begin. So I go to my JavaScript blog. So as you might know, I have already written JavaScript in depth. Now this is I spent 2 years on this project. So if you are learning JavaScript, this is a good. You might try out my tutorial, and this is in depth. So I would say it's valuable even if you are working in a company coding JavaScript for 2 years. I would say this is still contain many useful info for you. And there's also a section for JavaScript script reference. Uh, in Yeah. So anyway, so let's go back to my web blog. So I have all these pages. Each one of them has a reference link to the JavaScript spec. I talked about that yesterday. Uh, what I'm going to do is to remove all these links. Yeah, the ECMAScript spec, it's they come in like 10 or 20 megabytes in one page, so it takes a while to load ECMAScript. So let's go back. uh, Again, if you have any questions, any comments, any opinions, just post, like type it, post, any anything I'm like talking about, then you can post. So each of these contains a reference. You can see a reference link to the spec. So all these are array related. Then we have date, JavaScript date, date.utc, which is a property, and so on. So my task now is to remove all of them. So I'm going to use emacs macro to do that. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to first of all start command log mod. Now command log mod is a mod that records all commands I call in Emacs. So if whenever you see how did he do that, you can just look up on the left panel. It'll show the command name, and usually many of them are my own commands and they are on my website. You can just search for the command name. So let's start. Let's look at this article. Viewing web, you see there's a reference link. So normally if I do it manually, I just search for it, then delete it. Okay, delete it, show in browser. Now it's gone. So back to Emacs, close it. That's one of them done. So because there are many of them and they have the same pattern, so I'm going to do a keyboard macro. So let's start. Okay, start record macro, forward word, forward word, forward word, forward word. Okay, that's good. Enter to open the file. Go to the top of the buffer, then start search for greater than sign, CE reference slash. Okay, search for the reference h2 tag. Okay, exit. Then I'm going to, okay, actually that's a mistake. I want to, okay, cancel my recording. So let's see, I want to search up to this. Yeah, so I want to search that. Let's copy that. So I just copy that. Okay, close. So let's try it again. Open, go to the top, search. Wait. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm calling search current word, so that is actually searching it. So let's try it again. Open, go to the top, start search, next. Okay, this is not going well as planned. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, now it should be working. So open, go to the top, search that, yes, then delete, back, delete, save, close. Okay, now that's good. Now I'm going to start to record a macro. Start macro, then 1 2 3 4 forward 4 times, open the file, go to the top, start iSearch, find the next item, good, exit iSearch, then let's do this. Let's select the line, delete it, backward word, delete the line, then close the buffer, save, yes. Then I'm going to move to the then that's it. Okay, I'm gonna stop the macro now. Stop the macro recording. Okay, I have a macro recorded. Now let's go to the next line. Let's call the macro. Done. Now let's try to select all this array part and call apply macro to region lines. Woo, it's all done. Should be. Now let's look at in the browser. So we pretty much did all the array articles. So let's look at them. open, 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 open. So let's see. No reference, good. No reference, good. Close. No, and here, no reference, good. No reference link. So we are doing good. So that has we have just recorded macro. You see, for all these array to remove the link. So now I'm going to apply to all the way up to. Let's just do that. Let's see. Now I don't want to do all of them in one shot because some of them do not have the correct format. For example, let's see. For example, if I go to, well, almost all of them is correct. But for example, let's go to iterator prototype. Oh, okay, that one applies. Operator new. Okay, that also applies. ES 2015 object literal expression extensions. Okay, that applies as well. But some of the article, for example, here at the bottom, you see object overview. Now this page gives you an overview what is the technical meaning of JavaScript object, and it's kind of a tutorial. So you can see there's a reference here, which is not in the under the heading of reference. So that's kind of a special. So this link I may or may not want to remove. I have to decide later. But right now I'm just removing all those with the same format. So let's just apply to let's apply up to map. Let's just do another example. So call the command apply macro to region lines. Yes. And that's all done. It's all good. Fantastic. So those are the map sections. Open, open, open. Let's just check 3. That's good. That's good. That's good. So that's Emacs macro demonstration. I hope some of you find it useful. Hey Danielle, great to see you. Hey Scott, great to see you, Scott, and Norman and WebDog. Great, so many people came. 12 minutes, so we are on good timing. So I'm going to talk about Unicode and API then. I mean not API, IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. So Norman says, what do you think is the newest JavaScript spec that's still compatible with 90% of browsers? I think are you here yesterday, Norman? Because yesterday I talked about that for like 1 hour, JavaScript spec, and how it is, how it relates. They have a new version every year now, and they try to be compatible. That's their decision. So, um, yeah. So the gist of so there's a tug of war situation. On one hand, if you remain 100% compatibility, that is good because that makes you popular. People don't want to change. People a lot, millions, thousand, or the programmers out there, they don't want to. Oh, I need to relearn, a new thing. They can just use JavaScript the way they know it and learn a little bit, as they go. On the other hand, if you go the way of Python, make it incompatible. You really want to improve the language, like remove the ugly stuff that you made, 10 years ago. Then you got the situation like Python 3, where after 10 years nobody likes it. You got 50% adoption. So it's kind of good and bad. I cannot say for sure. JavaScript. Yeah. So because they remain compatibility with 20 years or 30 years old baggage, so JavaScript is very ugly and very convoluted. So anyway, yesterday we talked about that for like almost 1 hour. So you might check it out, yesterday's video. So Scott says, I'll be watching at the laptop in about 10 minutes. Oh, cool. After I clean up from dinner. Cool. But for now, listening on my phone. Hi, Danielle. Hi. I am. So typing this from my new Ergo Docs. Really good keyboard. I gave up on learning Vorak. Yeah, Ergo Docs is good in general. Uh, the Cherry MX Browns are so nice to type on. Okay, so maybe we talk about keyboard a little bit, but let's go back to the Unicode IPA because that was the topic I announced earlier to people. So okay, so let's go to Xali. Uh, got Xali Unicode. So I got this page of Unicode characters, and you can see there's emoji, and you move the mouse there, you can see the title and the code point of the emoji. And here you can search anything like WAT, then you get all characters that contains the name water, like contains the characters WAT. So it's a great tool. If you might want to use it. So anyway, I added Quillect recently in the past month. I added many languages, of Unicode. So here's Cyrillic. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Does anyone know Cyrillic? Uh, but anyway, it's used in Russian and lots of other languages. And also added, for example, Japanese, uh, Japanese, Tibetan. Now, Tibetan is an exotic one. You see, they look like alien languages. So, anyway, what I want to do is I want to add a new page, which is International Phonetic Alphabet. Let me show you. Xali IPA. So I want to add a new page to my Unicode page, and that will involve. Okay, look at this article. That will involve emacs, of course, and let's talk about IPA for a little bit. So I got this article. So IPA is a international phonetic alphabet. I think it's invented in France by French people. So the purpose of the phonetic alphabet is that you can use this to annotate pronunciation for any language, any language, historical or French, English, Chinese, Japanese, any language. I mean, because it's designed to capture your mouth, human speech, mouth movements, and how your tongue is placed, and so on. So it's at least in theory, it captures all possible sound in human languages. So here is some examples. But Americans in general are typically ignorant about IPA because American, for example, here is a chart. On the left is you have IPA symbols. On the middle is AHD, which is American Heritage Dictionary. On the right here is a Merriam-Webster dictionary. Now in American dictionaries, each of them they use their own symbols, like not standardized. Each dictionary use their own ad hoc cooked up symbols to indicate how a word is pronounced. So anyway, this one, for example, dog, heart, park, car, hawk, father, those are sound. But in American Heritage Dictionary, it's and Merriam-Webster, it's like A with two dots on top. But IPA uses this symbol. So that's what IPA is. Now, so I have all the kind of vowel sound. I mean, these are the major symbols for English, at least. But IPA alphabet, the IPA symbols has a lot more actually. Oops, online dictionaries. I have an obsession about dictionaries. So back in 1990s and 2000, I look up dictionaries like at least 1990, early 1990s and late 1980s. I look up dictionaries like few hundred times a day, every day. And so I have a obsession about dictionaries, and I have comparison and review of them there. But anyway, let's get back to IPA. So I need to create an IPA page. So first of all, let me copy that. Go to my programming blog and section, create a new section. Let's put the link here and find a Unicode. Okay, copy that, put it here. So that's a link to the Unicode acrylic page. So back to Emacs, close that. I put the link here, so copy it, paste it here. So this is gonna be Unicode IPA. Okay, Unicode IPA. Okay, type that, capitalize. Okay, now I'm going to copy the content of that page to here. Now this link doesn't exist right now, so but I'm going to make it exist. So I have a command called xar copy HTML by link. Now it's done, so I can press enter, open that, show in browser. Now it's a content from the Cyrillic page, so I need to change that. But the point is that it made a copy. Now I need to copy the title, open that again, change the title. Okay, and update the timestamp, created March 28th. Then just delete that, delete, 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 delete. Let's go all the way. So delete, delete, show in browser. That's empty. That's good. That's what I want. Go back here. Then okay, show this page in browser. So here is the IPA, and I'm going to start to add content to it. So I need to get all the alphabets of the IPAs. So let's search for IPA. There's a page on Wikipedia that lets you do that. International Phonetic Alphabet. The IPA is also used in opera singing. You guys have gone to operas, right? So in opera, they have oh, you know, and they okay. The text of opera is like in sometimes in Latin, sometimes in what is a typical uh, lyrics in opera? Is it French or is it Italian? Oh, I think Italian, right? But anyways, so opera singers, I've read that they actually hold on a second. Let me shrink the page. Oh God, it's super slow for some reason. Um, yeah, the opera singers, they use IPA to help them sing because when you sing some or especially if you are singing a different in a different language that you don't know the language, but however many singers their job is they have the talent with their mouth. So a lot of singers, even if they don't know the language, for example Chinese singers, even they don't know English, but they can sing English songs in English, so in such a way that you cannot tell he or she doesn't speak English, but a lot of singers do that. So I suppose similarly in opera, opera singers, so they can read, some of them use the IPA to help them. So here's the IPA, and let's get the characters. IPA is like, you actually have to spend time to study it, because there's how do I know IPA? Because actually, for a lot of Chinese, when you learn English, the pronunciation symbol are IPA. In fact, that's in Taiwan. I think it's also the case. I'm not sure about China, but that's the case for Taiwan, where I grew up. So that's how that's why I'm familiar with IPA, at least for the when it's used for English. But anyway, so yeah, you have to know, all these symbols. It's not difficult though. You spend one day and you basically capture it. Just like this page, it captures everything. Let's see the comments. So what do you use to insert Unicode characters in Emacs? Showing previews of the characters. Helm's UCS is super slow. Insert char doesn't have. Well, I use my package. I mean, for the symbols I use the most often, I just I have a brief for it. For example, okay, there are two ways I type math symbols or stuff in Emacs. Okay, Unicode in Emacs. One is abbreviation. For example, that doesn't work. Okay, here BU stand for bullet. You see, BU space, it becomes a bullet. I use this character all the time. So, and if we go to my let's see, Emacs abbrev. So this is my Emacs abbrev file. By the way, I also talked about this in one of the videos, so you can see, DS is does, N is end, R is ARE, RT is return. I use this word all the time when writing tutorials, so that I don't have to type RETURN. So I just type RT. For example, if I'm writing something, if, oh, okay, not here, because right now it's in Emacs list mod, and in Emacs list mod I have a brief for Emacs list. So, but let's open a new buffer, and now if I'm typing a sentence, if you are, you see, if you are, I just type if you are a fan of KB is keyboard, you see, if you are a fan of keyboard, you see. So that's abbreviation. I have a video about that, video tutorial, but it's also on my website. Just, here's a link. Just search for Xali Emacs abbreviation. So that's, I show you how to set it up. But anyway, so if you can look at this page, you'll see here are my Unicode abbreves. So let's see an example. Good. Okay, you need to magnify. Okay, good. Bullet, cat face, heart face. Okay, horror. So actually, many of these I don't use much because I sometimes I forgot the brief. Oh, this one I use often. Oh my God. And star. These two I use a lot. Okay, so that's one way. In fact, that this is the best way to insert a brief. Okay, to insert any Unicode. For characters you use often. Oh, another thing I use often is right arrow. Like when I'm writing tutorials, like function return x. Okay, so RA is right arrow. So for the characters you use the most often, create a brief for it. That's a most efficient way. Okay, now you see my abbrev, they are only like 10, 10 Unicode characters. That's many, but there are, hundreds emoji and hundreds of math symbols. So if you, for example, I want a sum symbol, I don't have it as a brief, but I can do this. Whoops, sum. What I just called is XAR math input change to symbol. So XAR math input is a mod I've written that lets you type a few hundred Unicode math symbols. You use. So for example, circle plus, you know, so I'm writing math. I can type CP and for circle plus. Um, yeah. So use a brief first. You know, uh, the problem with a brief is that you forgot what abbreviation uh, to type, because once you have like over, let's say over 20 Unicode characters, then let's say suppose you have 100 abbrev, so for 100 Unicode, math symbols or emoji or whatever. But once you go over 20, you kind of forgot what the abbrev. So that's very annoying. Um, so I kind of have this package. Let me show you. Uh, okay, wait. Okay, the command I call is XAMath input change to symbol, and it's in this file. Let's open that, magnify, go to the top, and so this package, here is the package, here's the URL. Let's look at that and show in browser. So it lets you type all these characters, mostly math, and you can add your own, whatever you want to add. And it's on Melpa, you can use it. So that's how I type Unicode. Just set up the symbols you want the most often. But if you do not have, suppose you want to type a Unicode symbol, uh, let's say you rarely use, maybe you use once, in a year, you just know the name. What do? You can just, for example, let's try this. Tibetan letter DDA. Okay, wait, let's try this Tibetan letter Ka. Okay, 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 so I do, let's see, uh, I have a command, let me see, there, okay, wait, not this one, insert char. So you just call the emacs command insert char, then Tibetan, there we have it, Tibetan, what was that? I forgot what was that. Tibetan letter Ka. Okay, Tibetan letter Letter Ka. There it is. There it is. So yeah, so for rarely used Unicode code characters, you can just call insert char. So that's that. Maybe let's get back to IPA or something. Let me read the comments. Oi, Italian, German. Oh, that's opera singers, Italian and German. Some are Latin. Yeah, yeah. I wanna let me show you some song. Oh, I mean, okay. I don't know if this is appropriate for YouTube, but don't worry. There's nothing not safe for work here. Everything is safe for work. Okay. Uh, yeah, but there's some Latin songs. Let's search for Xali Latin. I don't have. I'm not sure you'll find it. Okay, Latin. Xa music Latin. Okay, Lilium is one of them, but it's a Japanese anime, very violent, and so I'm not sure I want to go there. But however, the music, oh my god, that song, that piece music is incredible. It's just actually there's not much. You can we can look at that. Okay, good. YouTube. Anyway, anyway, so it's a Japanese anime song from and it's really beautiful. I'm not well, okay. I'm not gonna play it. Let's get back to Unicode. Um, oh yeah, but I was saying there's another music that's in Latin. That's good to show. Let me show you then. Telltale songs. Little Mermaid and so on. Wartime Shanghai, Miscellaneous, Prince, exotic here. Uh, okay, Nella Fantasia. That's also. I think that's in Latin. Let me turn on JavaScript. So we are showing some songs. Why not? This is talk show. So this guy is a Korean. He's a very sad story, and you probably have seen because it's hugely popular on YouTube a few years ago, like 10 millions watchers. So he grew up. He's an orphan, without dad or mom, and he lives homeless. He basically all his life. But anyway, he started to learn singing, by mostly by himself, and it is an incredible performance. Yeah, it's kind of long, so let me see the comments. Wagner's opera is German. Okay, yeah, I use a brief too. Okay, color emoji. Oh, you did that. Okay, yeah. One thing about Emacs, GNU Emacs, Free Software Foundation, is that they removed support for color emoji in Emacs. Why? Because Apple has color emoji and so does Microsoft. But however, the Linux world, the open source, you don't have that because it takes money to do that. If you do open source, nobody give you money. That's actually true. So then then Richard Stallman told people to remove. Actually, yes, remove. It's already there, but they want to remove the ability to show color emoji for the Mac version of Emacs. So they did that. So because the reason is that they don't want Mac version to appear more superior to than the Linux version. Um, it's pretty sad. Uh, so let's see how emoji are proprietary. Free system yeah, that's a big story. If you want to look at actually Xali Emacs, you can read. Um, I mean, things like this happen like every year. Every year there's something happen, big issue. Then it's show on Hacker News or Reddit here. GNU Emacs removes color emoji support for the Mac, and this is back in 2016. Big news. And it's not just this instance. I mean, there's every few years, every 2 years, you have another big issue. Then people forgot about it. Elf King, yes, Elf King. That's the one I believe. Oh wait, is that the different one or what is TBBT? Oh, there's audio echo. Sorry, shit. Uh, okay, so where are we? So So here's a song. Yeah, well, it's a Japanese anime, but the song is beautiful though. Um, oh, let's not play that. But there's another one I want to show. Okay, this one, Nella Fantasia, is also in Latin, I think. So actually, for each of these, I actually, I'm a, I'm a nerd info gathering. So this is in Latin. This Elfen Lied. Lied is a German for song. But anyway, so this one is in Latin. So here's a translation. The mouth of the just shall mediate wisdom, and so on. Let's go to then this one too. I have a lyrics in Italian. Okay, Nella Fantasia is Italian. And there are other singers. She's also a kind of a very young, talented singer, and this girl also sings it. They are like incredible. And there's another one. Anyway, let's forget about that then. Um, Jack says, "Hey, Jack, the image you show looks like an actor of TBBT whose IQ is super high. But what is TBBT? Talent something something. Oh, Elf King. Okay, so let's get back to IPA. So I've been talking for 40 minutes. Okay, IPA. So right now, my task is to collect all the IPA phonetics. Uh, I believe that is all. Let's see. Let's copy that. Okay, there are two ways to do it. I'm gonna show you both. So first of all, copy that. Copy. Go to emacs. Paste. Shrink it a little bit. Okay, shrink again. Okay, then I'm going to replace all ASCII characters. I don't want ASCII characters. So I'm going to call query replace. Let's show the panel. Query replace rejects. Then I'm going to give a emacs specific rejects, which is this one. Plus, this will find all ASCII characters, a sequence of ASCII characters. So I type enter, replace it by nothing. Okay, then type exclamation to remove them all. Good. So I have it here. What is this? I call describe-char, and this one is soft hyphen. Nah, I don't want soft hyphen. So replace, remove all soft hyphen. Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to put them into, I want each character to be a line. So I'm going to do start macro. Actually, start macro, move character to the right, enter, stop macro. Okay, now I'm going to call the macro. Yes, call as keyboard macro, call as keyboard macro, call as keyboard macro. That's good. Now I'm going to repeat it by calling repeat last command. So I can hold down T and I'll just do everything. Okay, it's all done. Now I'm going to select all and sort them. Okay, now you can see some of these are repetitions. For example, this character describe-char is XF0, Latin small letter F, and oh, these two are actually different. But anyway, some of them are the same, I think. Let's go 158. So anyway, let's select all. Let's call the command wait, what is the command I want to call? I forgot the key, but let's just call the name. Delete duplicate, I think. Okay, delete duplicate lines. Let's do that. Okay, it says deleted 64 duplicate lines. So yeah, so that's good. So I got basically all the, I think, IPA symbols. Then I'm going to switch to HTML mod, magnify. Actually, let's just copy the whole thing. Close, close, select all, close. We don't need that. Then let's go to the IPA page. Remember, it's empty. Now paste it here. So I got it all here. Select it, narrow to region, so I only see this part. Magnify, magnify, magnify. Now I'm going to record a keyboard macro again. So start recording, move the character to the right, then call HTML mark Unicode and stop macro. Then I'm going to call apply macro to region lines. That's good. So I'm gonna select them all, apply macro to region lines. Okay, so now widen. Okay, some of them I got it all wrong actually. You see, if you show in browsers, what I want to do is I want to mark any Unicode by by a HTML mark tag. But you see, some of them I did the command wrong, so that's why you see that. So no worry. Select all, narrow to region, then call this command HTML remove HTML tags. Let's do it again. Start a macro, move to the right, make a tag, move to the right, stop macro. Now apply to shit. It's still wrong. Let's try to do it again. Start macro, stop. Okay. Wait, there is something. Okay, I know what's going on. Because some of these characters are actually okay. Let's try it again. Okay, I know what's going on. So let's do it again. Start macro, move it to the right, make a tag, then just go down. Okay, then stop macro. Okay, let's try. Apply macro to region lines. There's something wrong here because you see this one is not right. This one is I can't believe this. Why is let's try again. Stop, apply to macro region lines. Something is wrong. I'm not sure what. That's something I have to fix. Let's open that again. Yeah. So why is that? Let's try it one more time. Start macro. No. I'm not sure why is that. Okay, let's not use apply region. Let's try it one last time. So I'm going to start macro. Do that. Just move down. Stop macro. Then I'm just going to call macro one at a time. Okay. There's still something wrong. I think something screwed up. You see this character. It shouldn't be like that. I'm thinking because they are combining characters. Because actually there are two characters there. But anyway, create a new language. Okay. Remove color emoji. Okay. Anything else? Maybe we this is pretty bad. I can't believe I get this doesn't not working. Oh yeah, so you see I know why now, because you see this let me magnify. You see over here, let me go back here. Narrow to region, uh, select all, remove the marks. You see some of these characters are not single Unicode code point. They are like combining characters. So that's yeah. So how do I know? Let's call describe-char. Describe-char. So we are looking at this character, and this character is display composed to from that. See below. No. Yeah, I think that is why it's making it. Yeah, you see, this is what happens. I hate those composition characters. You see, normally if you just have a character, let's see, let's copy that. Let's put it here. So normally if you just have a character, then you call the command, it put a mark to that character, mark tag wrap around it. Now for this one, if we're gonna do that, you see it actually, so it did it for this this m underscript. But so you can see there are actually two characters here. So there's that character is made up of this one and this one. So that is why the macro is all screwed up. So okay, anyway, so that's one way to do it. Let me just show you another way. 8 watching. Okay, so let me just show you another way. Let's go back to the Unicode, and in the search box let's type IPA. Okay, I want to get all the IPA characters. So what I was trying to do is to search um, part of the name for the IPA characters. So let's try this one. Latin small letter gamma. So actually the name doesn't contain IPA. Okay, so this is another failure, I guess. Let's search this one. Latin small letter Z EZH. Okay, because I was thinking all of them contains, their character name contains IPA, but that's not the case. Where are they? So what is this ejective consonants? Labial. Okay, oh, these are consonants. Where are the vowels? International Phonetic Alphabet chart. I should have gone to this page instead. And it's taking huge time to load. I think that's it. Maybe that's it for today. What else am I going? Are we going to official chart? Yeah, IPA is so. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, let's see what else we are gonna talk about. Talk show, talk show. Keyboard macros, JF reference. Okay, we did that. Yeah, that's we exhausted our topics. um, yeah. So 11 watching. Should that be it for today? Anything else? Type it, guys. Anything else? If nothing else, then maybe that's it. And maybe we'll do another one today. Maybe like 4 or 5 hours from now. Okay. Norman says off topic, but can you explain about the relationship between Taiwan and China? Yeah. Okay. So Jogan says, "Hello, Xa. I'm trying out your wonderful Xafly keys. Yes, thank you, and it's great. But there is one issue I'm not too sure of. Okay, what is that? Let me know. Type it. Okay, so the difference, I mean, the relationship with Taiwan and China is that so. Okay, back. So here's a very simplified history of. Hey, Scott. A very simplified. Okay, yeah, we got so many topics now. It's great. We're gonna talk about maybe 10 or 20 more minutes. So let me talk about a short history of modern China, Taiwan and China. So around World War II, that's 1940s, and maybe 20 years before. So China has been always been a empire. What you call the but anyway, so in 1940s, that's when World War happened. So Japan is invading China, very bloody war. But even before that, there's a civil war going on in China for maybe 10 years before the Japanese invasion. Okay, so the civil war it's extremely bloody. Okay, far more so than say American Civil War. It's like million people died. So the civil war it's between the communist Chinese communists and the nationalist. Basically, the China, is during in the early 1990s or around 1990. There's a lot of foreign invasion, from UK, from Germany, from France, from Italy, from USA even. They are all invading China, and China is all the war, opium war and so on. China lost because you cannot beat the Western's guns and ships. So China is in a very bad shape. People want to start to revolutionize. Revolutionize change the education system. We cannot be that way any longer. We have to learn from the Western societies, countries. So change education, change the government. Stop the imperial. I mean, the whatever the Chinese empire, stop the government system, the traditional. I forgot what's the proper name. What's the proper name for Chinese? Well, the easiest way is China history. Dynasties, yeah, that's the word, dynasties. So China was always in dynasties, ruled by dynasties. So anyway, so we want to change that because all the war, we lost to the foreign powers. But there are two factions. One is the communism. Now this is when communists, the Russia just had their revolution. Communism is becoming popular. The idea, the ideology, where all the people, you don't have to work, everything live. It's like a commune. There's no, we don't want capitalism because we want each people helping each other. Give what you have if you can. Those capable do what they can. Those, you do whatever areas you can to, and you contribute. There's no private property. Everything is like commune. You share. It's like it's actually just like the ideology of free software or open source. You share things. So one faction is the communist. Okay, then the other faction is nationalist. Now the nationalist is supported by U.S. Well, this is even before. But anyway, so there are two factions. They want to change China, so they disagree. They fight very bloody. Then the Japanese came in. Then they started to fight Japanese. They kind of collaborated to fight Japanese. I mean, officially they collaborated, but I mean, history is very complex. But they still fight internally. So then the U.S. dropped, nuclear bombs on Japan. Japan surrendered. So technically, China, we are the victors, in World War II. Then the communist and nationalist civil war resumed, and it's very bloody, million, bloody, and then but and by that time the US is like putting money weapons in, do what they can to support the nationalist government, and the communist part is supported by part of Russia. Russia is supporting of course each of these big countries, they want their ideology to win. So anyway, in the end, the nationalists failed. They lost. So the communists took over all China. The nationalists fled to Taiwan. My dad and my mom is from China, and so we fled to Taiwan. Uh, um, and so that's what happens. And since then, I mean, Taiwan is always very much supported by USA. You have US ship fleet going around the Taiwan Strait, which is the sea between China and Taiwan. Let's see, Google Maps. So that's basically what happens. So that's why you have Taiwan and China. China is ruled by communist government, and Taiwan is ruled by the nationalist called Kuomintang. Okay, Kuomintang. And let's just show a little bit that. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the map of what's so that's California. That's where I live. Silicon Valley. We rule the world with Google and Facebook and AI. So here is USA. You fly all the way, then you have China, North Korea, South Korea. Lots of politics, and West Germany, East Germany. That's the World War II era. So Taiwan is this land. It's part of China. Uh, anyway, the Taiwan. So we fled. The Nationalist Party fled to Taiwan. And the story just doesn't just end there because Taiwan. So Taiwan has people in Taiwan. They are native. I mean, they are kind of native. I mean, they are they are kind of still Chinese. You can say it's a ethnicity. I mean China has got lots of different ethnicities. So anyway, Taiwan has people that already lives there. They are like they are Chinese, and most of them speak Chinese. But when Japanese during World War II, Japanese is ruling Taiwan. It's part of Japan. So anyway, Taiwan's got people. The nationalist party moved to Taiwan, and they ruled Taiwan rather ruthlessly. Okay, so they take advantage. It's pretty bad. The government in power. So and there's also massacres. So in Taiwan, so it's like politics. It's like politics in USA or anywhere in the world. You have different parties. That you fight all the time. You talk bullshit. So Taiwan is kind of, so you have so anyway, but since the past like 30 years, Taiwan became the Kuomintang party, the nationalists who fled to Taiwan, kind of. So they have like a democracy kind of now, like the USA, because Taiwan is very much influenced by USA. Whatever USA is doing, Taiwan has it. Like today you have gay rights, feminism, women's right, this and that. Taiwan kind of almost copy it, almost everything. But China is kind of rather more independent, China. So I have never been to China, and I grew up in Taiwan until I was 14, and I moved around, so that's a basic story. So stuff like key. So what is the issue? Okay, so maybe we talk about Golang, but probably we're gonna finish today. Maybe, yeah. Okay, 10 more minutes maybe. Um, and I'm thinking maybe we're gonna do another talk show tonight. In 5 hours. So for people in China or Europe can join. So in a slime repo, so Jogan says in a slime repo. Uh, Wait, what is slime? I kind of forgot. Slime repo. So that, when I type comma, it gives me a command prompt. Uh, Now slime is a common Lisp, right? For a package for running common Lisp. So okay, anyway, in slime repo, when I type comma, it gives me a command prompt. Gives you a command prompt in the bottom, and when I type space once, it sometimes get me into insert mode. Yeah, I don't know. The slime is the mod of interactive common Lisp system. Yeah, as far as I know, slime is pretty complicated. Uh, yeah, so I don't know about that, because, well, the basic thing about the situation is that Emacs. I mean, despite all its flexibility, you doesn't really have a system designed for key bindings. So by that I mean, whenever you have a minor mod, I mean, you have major mod key bindings, you have minor mod key bindings. But minor mod, when you have a buffer, you can have several minor mods on. So which minor mods keys takes priority? Okay, there is a way you can change it yourself, but I mean, there is no general way to defines which one should be have priority. So each minor mod they actually do override each other's keys if there's a conflict. So I don't know if this is a problem that can be solved in general, because this happens in Windows as well, because you have different applications, each one tries to override the other application's key. And because you have many different key binding tools, for example. So each one wants to be the have priority. So in general, to solve these problems, individual for a person, what you can do is you want to try to find out. Okay, you call the command describe key. So when you are in the situation where some keys override, in that moment in time, you want to call um, the the command describe key, then type that key and see what command it actually calls and where is that from, to see if it's from that minor mod. So yeah, I don't think this is actually a good explanation, because especially with slime mod, the situation is that within many of these, especially complicated mods, for example, in the case of interactive repo for Common Lisp, they have lots of like tricks and hacks to get to do what they do. So in the case of key binding, they may have their own key binding, and also Emacs has a you can define a key that is tied to text. So for example, if you are using Magic, many keys are bound to a specific chunk of text. So when your cursor is in that chunk of text, um, you know it actually call that key. So I mean, this is a case for Magic mod. So I mean, there's a lot of complications. So there's no generic way to solve that, except case by case. That's what I think. Um, so if you like, file a bug report on on stuff like keys, it's kind of piled up. I haven't had looked in the past month, so there are quite a few things piled up. So if you are really want serious about this issue, put the issue there, please, and I'll get to it. Off topic, can you explain the relationship? Okay, so Taiwan is just a province. Jack Lu says Taiwan is just a province of China. So that's actually, yeah, that's Chinese people, people in China's take, Taiwan is just a province. Taiwan, I'm more in favor of China. I'm sorry to say, because I also have, I was born in Taiwan, and my family is in Taiwan, but my family is very messy. And there are people from Taiwan, and actually Taiwan Emacs users. They have a user group. They are fairly popular, and they follow me. But I'm kind of more in favor of China, and because Taiwan is kind of very small, and the thing is, in Taiwan politics, it's extremely messy. I mean, it's not like they are unified, peaceful, because you have people in Taiwan. They are not from China. Okay, for example, I moved to China. I'm from China. Okay, but 70% of the population, maybe 70% or something, or 50%, they are there in Taiwan originally. Then there's also no more known as native Taiwanese, which are people who live in mountains. They are kind of, so anyway, so it's like politics. It's complicated, and they fight for, it's very messy. Then there's also corruption. Then it's part of Taiwan people. They want Taiwan independence, but that's only part of them. Wanting that, not the whole. So it's fairly complicated. So Taiwan back in the 1990s, everything is made in Taiwan, but now China is taking over, because China is big, and now they opened up, the Deng Xiaoping, they opened up the economy, basically capitalism. So they become so rich. That is why, if you ask for my opinion, before China was communist, very poor, you don't have, like Russia, but the Deng Xiaoping opened up, at least the economic aspect, so it's thriving, everything. So I think that's it for today. um, thank you guys, thank you guys a lot for coming. Possibly I'll do another one in maybe 5 hours or something. I'll announce it on Twitter. And major mouse specialist Emacs waiting for you. So I see you guys. Yeah, next I'll talk about the comments next time. Thank you. Bye, guys. Oh yeah, the Goland. I'll talk about that. Yeah, next time, Scott.